Being in nature does something very powerful, which is it gives us human beings that feeling of smallness that is, I think, so vital for context and reflection and being a good human being in your larger community.
Nature is one of those things that it's almost impossible to know it fully, and there are so many little relationships going on that we can't see. There are so many different little tiny micro homes on a landscape that we get to protect.
You know, INLC has been at work in the community for decades now, and the community has grown around us and with us. We're planning on ramping up the scale and the pace of our conservation, and we need to bring the community along with us to do that.
We work with landowners, with communities, with individuals to identify and permanently protect the lands and waters that we hold so dearly here throughout our region. Some of those lands are the lands that inspired Dr. Kropf to write the piece that we're about to hear.
I like to think of music as a conversation. My hope is that it creates kind of a space for reflection where each audience member is able to kind of think about their own relationship with the natural world and with Land Conservancy's mission and their community.
So this morning when I got out here, right in front of me, a beautiful bull moose stepped out of the bushes. And it was magnificent. It looked up at me and then it just moseyed on its way. And it feels so gratifying to know that the work that we're doing is more than providing a place for you to come hike. It's also providing an essential home for creatures like the moose. All these relationships that are dependent upon these lands.
The Inland Northwest Land Conservancy have enlisted a couple of artists in the past couple of years. I've had the privilege of being one of those. The sensitivity that they have to what land means to people, I think, is a step in the right direction for global healing. Humans are innately artistic and creative and free. Places like this mean a lot to me. I've gotten to spend a lot of my childhood and adulthood barefoot, and it's important to me to create experiences for people through music or other forms of art where people can relax and be able to think emotionally.
So here we are at Glen Tana. We're at the edge of the meadow, and behind us is the nursery where we host now 4,000 plants. We're going to double the nursery in size in the coming year. And our volunteers have been busy putting these plants in the ground, literally getting their hands dirty, serving the earth. So this is expanding habitat and it brings people together. So we look at this property as just a marvelous opportunity to engage the community, excite people about conservation, and advance the work that we're all part of.
Close to their homes, close to the city. They can feel the earth, they can hear the wind, they can watch the animals. It will be a special place where you can take the time to really understand your connection to nature.
Glen Tana comes along, right? It's this giant whale of a project. We couldn't even imagine doing it the previous couple of years, and all of a sudden it came and it was this audacious goal, and we just went for it. And now we've done it. It's amazing, right? Like the things are happening. To give that land to the Spokane tribe, take care of that water forever, take care of the upland, and give connection to the community that it needs and desires and wants to have forever.
A lot of the land that we've protected, the land here at Glen Tana and other projects, are places where you can come out and enjoy the stewardship work, go for a hike, bring your family. And that's just a fraction of the work that the Land Conservancy does. We've helped protect almost 30,000 acres of land throughout our region. That's a number that's hard for people to really conceive of. Most of that land is private land that's permanently protected and that you as a supporter may not get a chance to visit.
So like in Salish, we go Sisi'a, like if you were to say it, but the name is like Sisiyet.
Okay.
In Salish, kind of almost interchangeable. There was a time where we lost a lot of our cultural learning, our language. So the Sisiya, being the only fish-bearing stream on our reservation, in a place where our ancestors and our stories were. When we look at it, it tells the story of all those people and all the plants and animals that once lived there. And today we want to make sure we can still keep those stories. Clean air, clean drinking water, stable ecosystems. We all benefit from this.
CCI is 750 acres of beautiful forest lands, of riparian lands, of cold water refugia. You know, it's a priority waterway for the Kalispel tribe. So from a natural resources perspective, it's obvious, right? This is a great property.
And I want to bring up the word legacy. I do know that INLC, they bring ideas to landowners to help them in their legacy. So we also share in that idea of conserving for the next generation.
It's amazing. We just love that we get to share this part of the property with everybody as they drive through. I mean, this is what we originally fell in love with, is this part of the land.
So we're on almost 40 acres here. I feel amazingly lucky to have a piece of property like this to be our first actual home.
So we saw a for sale sign and we went, what are the odds that the place that we just fell in love with is for sale? We did find out that it had a conservation easement on it, which at first was somewhat alarming because we didn't know what that meant. Before we made the purchase, we actually reached out to the INLC to ask, what is a conservation easement? What do we need to know? And we were very fortunate to work with Rose, who kind of just let us know everything. And she kind of invigorated our interest. She made us really feel like we could do a lot here and make an impact in this valley.
Conservation easement with INLC is a perpetual agreement that runs with the land, not the landowner. And so we have conserved about 18,000 acres of land throughout the region with conservation easements. So we get to steward those lands and those relationships in perpetuity. We get to meet all kinds of new folks that come to love that place, like Ken and Danielle, who have been incredible easement landowners.
The easement has been more so of guidance than restrictions.
You see projects like this and you understand this is a tremendous amount of time, resources, finances, physical labor. We don't have to be the driving force behind everything. We can work with people who have that same passion and do it together and not take on the entire burden ourselves.
So the reason for the bank stabilization effort at this location is the erosion was just seasonal runoff events eating away at the toe of that bank, and then it would collapse on itself. You know, a lot of this work is focused at reversing those impacts and providing habitat for the future. And today is the culmination of about 2 years. We partnered with INLC on this project and brought out a group of very energetic volunteers that are willing to just get their hands dirty and plant these trees. We pre-drilled a bunch of holes. The best time to plant a tree is today, and the next best time is tomorrow.
In the last 6 years, I'm really proud of how much the organization has grown into a sophisticated organization that is able to objectively and strategically chase conservation. If we're not working together to protect these things, they go away. This is our home, and protecting it and helping to be a part of the natural space around it, that's a major reason why we're here, and we want to help keep that.
The pressure is on us right now, and with that come rising land costs. That makes our work more expensive and more complicated. There just simply isn't enough urgency that I can put behind this. We are in it. We're behind, actually, and that's why being bold, as we are in our planning, is essential. This is sort of like a conservation moonshot, right? We have to do this work.
I really appreciate that this organization and the people in it have a heart for having hard conversations. In that flight, I was just beginning to feel more and more small in the world that I lived in. So that was the inspiration for the lyrics of this song.
If I seem preoccupied with myself, forgive me.
what do we want to look like in 10 years, in 20 years, right? What kind of an organization do we want to be? What kind of land do we want to protect?
What I want to see is a footprint on the land that is in concert with what the land offers, and grow that seed within yourself of what you need to do to protect things moving forward. I plan to retire here, so this is my home now.
We realize that we're sharing this valley here with so many different creatures, so much different wildlife.
I mean, we showed up with no knowledge, just a lot of good intention, and we're here, and people are telling us we're doing a good job. We want to make sure that the impact that we have, whether it's with small things like what do we put in our soil, to the larger things like what house plan can we put on the hill that won't impact wildlife that's going down the access road.
This is legacy work. This is work that is going to last for a very long time.
We need to work with everyone to make this happen, and we think there's a role for everyone to play. We can tell our grandchildren about the work that we did to help protect the lands that we love and we know they're going to love too.
The Inland Northwest Land Conservancy's imagination and their willingness to try new things in this collaboration, I think they're really interested in using music and art and to tell these really important stories. And I'm so excited to see what they come up with in the future.
Whatever I am after, chapter after chapter, I never meant to wrong you. It's just ever since my hand was severed from the